This is how I do the Dodge Charger, these upper control arms. As you can see, the bushings on these things, you see that one's up against the wall. Yeah, so these bushings always break, so we always gotta change these. So for me, I take that bar out. Now, when you take that bar out, you have a lot better access to that bolt back there. I also move the computer just off to the side so I can access this bolt a lot easier. I've seen some people will take a really long, it's an 18 millimeter, they'll take a really long one and they could actually do it without taking this bar and everything out. But that's what I do to make my life easier. I just take that bar out. So that's step one. The other one is right there. So it's pretty easy to get to once you have that bar out. Another quick thing to note, to take the bolt out for this side, you're going to have to take this reservoir bottle off. It's only this and that. You just move it to the side. Alright, so you just take the bottle out, just leave it hanging over there, just move it over, and now you got access to that bolt. Alright, now that you got all the bolts removed, and those two in the back. Yeah, so now that you got all the bolts removed, now it's time to go and play under here, which is the easy part. Alright, so here's the trick. I just wrap a piece of wire around the strut in this, because when you take this bolt out, you're going to have to use a hammer to separate this from this. So I do this so it doesn't like fucking fly all at me and shit. Oh, and also I use, since I have the convenience of working in a shop, I take my swivel, and that's an 18 millimeter. It'd be a lot easier with air tools, but if you're doing it at home or something like that, you may have to try on this, because this might want to spin on you. So air tools or power tools are always the best. Yeah, as you can tell, I'm a professional YouTuber. This bolt will tend to fly. You want to be careful. Now it's loose. So this way this don't fly, because we put the new one in, right there. Bolts. You don't even have to take the strut. And they just cut it. Yeah, it's kind of a crappy video, but hopefully you saw most of it. But yeah, these strut bolts, they come out no problem. And now, there's the old one. Alright, to get the new one on, it's really not that hard. You don't even have to like play with the strut or nothing. It can be a little bit funny sometimes, but for the most part, it goes right the fuck in there. Obviously, you just slide up the hole. Alright, so that's one of them. Usually this end is here. Now that one's in. And you just take it. really all there is to it. It's pretty fucking easy. And this shit pays 3 hours. You could do this in literally like fucking 20 minutes. As you can see, the new one's on, bolts are through. And again, you don't even gotta play with the strut. However, on the two-wheel drive, you do have to play with the strut. But on these four-wheel drives, you don't. You can just get the bolts out pretty much no problem. Alright, so the next step here is, you know, once you have that nut bolted down, you know you got the bolts through. Put the wheel on, put the car back on the ground, and when you have the car on the ground, then you could actually, you know, put these nuts on. Yeah, you probably can't see what I'm doing, but whatever. Yeah. So yeah, just get these bolts in there. Now the reason why I put the wheels on the ground is because when you're doing this, it's going to prevent the whole thing from like spinning around so much. Like if you do this, when you go, because, oh yeah, by the way, the whole time that I do this, I am using this 18mm gear wrench here. So when you're doing it, when you're going back, it's not gonna like spin with it. So that's another reason why I put the wheels on the ground. So it's not really gonna move on you that much. So pretty much that's the bulk of it, and I'll show you how to get this bar back on, because it could be a pain in the ass if you've never really played with it. So hold on. Alright, so for me, everything's bolted down, everything's back on. So I put the bar back on. Now it just slides real easy into place. You know, I moved the computer back, so I kind of just, you know, slid the bar here in place mostly. Now leave it loose like that, because this is the tricky part. It's pretty much getting it back into the thing, because the wiper motor, you'll see that little pin sticking out. There's this rubber piece on here. So if you have it loose in here, just kind of slide it into the slot and then push it in. And that will make your life easier. And then after that, you just, you know, the two bolts, throw them in there. You may have to wiggle it around. It's kind of hard for me to do this with a phone camera and everything, but yeah, you may have to wiggle these around to get it to line up at the hole, but that's pretty much all you got to do to get it back on. Oh yeah, then you could take this wire thing and clip it here. And that's it. So that's how I do these upper control arms. Hopefully this helps somebody, you know, somebody that's doing it at home. So good luck.